Okay, here's a maple syrup system I'm working on to put into high vacuum. These are the corners I've been putting in, all cross brace corners, so I can tie my line to. So then this line here will run straight up the hill. There'll be a high tension wire that'll go up there, and then be a 3/4 inch tube, 3/4 inch main or lateral that'll come down, and then it'll sweep around and tie into a T in here. So I gotta do a little clearing up there yet, but not too much. It's actually pretty clear. So then this is the main line I've been putting in using my tensioners. Gonna eye bolts, go all the way through eye bolts to an S hook to a tensioner. You'd be surprised, actually these will straighten out. If you have a big tree limb or something goes down, these will actually straighten out and save your main line and save your tubing. Right now, these things are super. This thing is pretty dang tight. I don't know if these things will actually hold any more tension. I've got them pretty tight now, but and I just got this main line up like a couple days ago. So I've been working on this all winter, or not actually not all winter, only 3 weeks. So through the winter, I'm in southeastern Minnesota. So here's my main lines. These are just support poles every 50 feet. From there, from my cross to here is 50 feet. Down to my next cross down there is right there's another 50 feet. So I have 100 foot between my cross support corners, and then those corners are going to be the ones that are going up the hill. So these are all, each one of these corner supports is going to be a lateral going straight up the hill, and then be another high tensile wire coming down here, and then be a 3/4 lateral, and then all my 5/16 will run left and right off of my 3/4, and they'll all head that way down to my my main line. So yeah, I just got this temporarily wired up right now just to get the thing up and get it straight. Why it's still 40 degrees in Minnesota, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so this is just holding my wire, these eye bolts. So I just lag them in, put the eye bolts, the wire. I cut these out just a little bit to get the wire to slip on, and then what'll happen is if a main line, if one of these trees or something actually comes down, these will actually rip out of the poles instead of putting them in with big bolts. These will rip out and go to the ground. So these are kind of a safety thing. I worked into a little bit of a safety issue. I just don't want to trash everything when you put it all in, spend all the time. So these will definitely hold a main line and anything you put on them, and any weight and anything. So, but hopefully when a tree hits, these will straighten out or rip out of the poles, because there's a little bit of these things are tight. I cranked them as tight as those things will allow. But the next thing I'm gonna do is put my Ys in. So I'm gonna be coming down, like say here's another crossbar. So I'll be coming down the hill with a 3/4 into a main line, into my main line here. I'll have a Y in here and a stainless Y with a 3/4, and then that'll head downhill. And then maybe in a couple years, I've got these poles tall enough, 12 inches up, I'm gonna put a dry line. So then my dry line will go from here back into my 3/4. So it'll be a dry line up here, another 1-inch dry line. But next thing I noticed too, if you look real close, you can see these sag just a little bit in between the poles. Kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see them a little bit way down there. I'm gonna put steel poles in between these 50-foot poles just to help that wire just a little bit, help it up, just to keep it nice and level. But in between each pole, I've got 6 inches of drop between each pole. So my run is 400 feet, and out of the 400 feet, I got 4 feet of drop. So I got a foot per 100, 6 inches per 50 feet. And there again, that's one of my connectors. It's just holding the wire. It's all it does. So hopefully these will give. If anything big comes down, turns my line down, it'll just tear out them tear out them connectors, them little leg eyelets. But yeah, so I've been tapping this hillside with 3/16, and it's been pretty productive. Just a lot of problems with tree rats, squirrels chewing lines and stuff, and they're going to do it on the 5/16 too. I'm going to put all this onto a high vacuum. That's why I'm changing it over to 5/16 because of the high vacuum I want to put on these lines. Yeah, so these poles are high enough where, like I say, I'm going to put up in here. I'll put the other air, the dry line for the suction, the vacuum. But yeah, I just got to come back through here now, and like these are low. I'm just going to come back and I'll wire tie these all up like every 10 inches all the way down this whole line, 400 feet, but every 10 inches down. So I started clearing this all out probably a month ago, 2 months ago. Decided to put in a high line or a main line with high vacuum. So I've got all of this. This is where I'm stopping right now. I've got all this. I cut all this out. Didn't have to cut any trees down. They're pretty much cleared out. In the most part, it was pretty clear. I just had to clear out some brush and some down trees and stuff, but it made for a really nice straight run trail. And then, so I did all that. And then this is only half of it. I have all of this up here and all the way up here. There's probably another 600 feet at least, 700 feet more trees back in here. There's the trail here, goes around the corner, but so I can tap all that. So this is my first year system here, and then I'm going to from here. I've been tapping 3/16. You can see 3/16 here, and here's where I had one of the 275 gallon totes. I had one of them totes right here. These are all my 3/16 or my 3/16 lines. You can see the deer just mangle these things. Let me just chew them all up, like on the ends. Look at that. Look at the deer. They just mangle these things. You chew them all up. But part of living in the woods, I guess. You're gonna get it. But yeah, this is how I've tied up my 3/16. I just last through the tree with cable, some high tension wire, crimp off the high tension, put some 5/16 over the high tension wire, and then put my clip on the tree, run everything. And then I just run everything to the tree, and then just down from there. Everything comes downhill. And you can kind of see everything that I've got up here, all the lines, just run up the hill, lines here. But it's been pretty, the 3/16 ran pretty good. So I got a pretty good slope here. Probably got about 60 foot of drop in 250 feet to the top of that hill. Yeah, up here's way up the top there is 250 feet down to my main line, so got a pretty good drop. But yeah, this worked pretty good to tension to hold my wires instead of trying to tie them to the tote and everything. I just like I say, just use high tension wire and some 5/16 and did that. And then all these would go over here and just stick into a tote. Tote would just sit on this platform right here, so it's flat and level. So yeah, so that worked pretty good. And then you have to try to tie them to the tote and all that. And they stay nice and tight on that tree. And then you just tighten them all up. But this is my new project. 3/16 on my main line, going from 3/16 to a main line all the way down. But I'll get some more videos of it as I start putting the Ys in and running my 3/4, running my lines, my high tension wire up the up the hills and put my 3/4 in, stuff like that. So I'll do some more videos of that. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Otherwise, it's coming along. Like I say, I'm down in southeast Minnesota, and the weather's been beautiful down here for doing this kind of stuff. I've had a couple days where it's been down in the teens below zero, but we've had enough snow on the ground now that it's protected the ground. So I've been able to put all these posts in the ground, drill them and put them in the ground and pack them in before it's freezing up pretty solid. So everything is good. Look at that, lost a tool, didn't even know it. So anyways, that's my mainline system going in. Just kind of getting the main line put up last weekend, and hopefully in the next couple days I can get some more done, and we will I'm going to put all this onto a vacuum, high vacuum with a probably an SP11 pump or a 22. I've got both, into a zero bulk tank, and I've got a zero bulk tank already, so I'll run all that this year, and we'll put that all in right here. So this is where my systems would be, sit right in here someplace. A little bulk tank, a little platform and stuff, but eventually this will be a little building here, a portable building that I can collapse, take down, and put back up, because this isn't my property. It's real good friend farmers. So anyways, I will keep you updated on the progress of my maple system and how things go. Thanks. Bye.